We'll begin our post-race media availabilities for the Sparks Energy 300. We're joined now by driver of the number 7, Breyers Chevrolet, Justin Allgaier. Justin, that was a tremendous finish to a great race. Tell us about how it looked from your seat.
Well, it was crazy at the end there. Obviously we knew coming down to the end, green, white checkers, we're going to be a little bit on the crazy side, but huge congrats to Elliott. Obviously, for Junior Motorsports to finish 1-2, it's a good day. And to do it on his birthday, we were joking yesterday in the autograph session that between the two of us, we were going to both finish 1-2. We just didn't care which order. And obviously, it would have been nice to be in victory lane right now. But, to come out of here with a second-place finish, to have a shot at the win like we did, huge thank you to everybody back at the shop. The guys at Junior Motorsports do a great job. And whether it be the bodies, the chassis, the engines, the Hendrick engines, everybody from all of our partners. It's definitely been a lot of fun this year, and we're getting closer. Last week we had a strong run and ultimately didn't get to pick up the win. So to be that close again this week is definitely encouraging, and we'll keep moving on from here and try to go pick us up another one in a few weeks.
Questions for our second-place finisher? If you'll raise your hand, we'll get a microphone to you. We'll go to Chris Knight.
Chris Knight, catchfence.com. Justin, you guys are close to winning a race with this 7 team. How much does it mean to you to be competitive and back contending for race wins?
Oh, it's great. Obviously, when it comes to going to the racetrack, it's nice to know that you got a piece underneath of you that can go out there and be competitive and contend for wins. And obviously today, I thought it was going to come down to the two of us for the win there, coming to the checkered. And ultimately, as I heard him say, I'm just glad that they took the few minutes to get it right. Obviously, a heck of a finish. So when you go to the racetrack and you can be competitive and you know that at the end of the day, you've got strong race cars, it definitely makes it fun, and it's put new life into me. And when you come to the racetrack, we're all competitive. We want to win races, and we want to be there. And so to be able to put yourself in that position over and over, it just kind of, you gotta walk before, or crawl before you can walk, and walk before you can run. And we're just back into those stages again, and definitely feel like we're catching our stride, and feel like we'll have a good shot out of here, coming into the season.
We're also joined now by our third-place finisher, driver of the number 48, DC Solar Chevrolet, Brennan Poole. Brennan, I know there was a delay there as NASCAR reviewed the tape and determined the finishing order. Had to be tough for you there.
Yeah, like I said earlier, just glad that they were able to take the time to get it right. So happy that the rightful winner is taking the trophy home tonight. I wish it was us, but we were close. Our car was really good all day. It was just fun racing up there with everybody, and had a lot of fun pushing Joey. It got sketchy at times, which is typical Talladega. So it was just a lot of fun, and it was cool racing. I thought it was between Justin and I too. We were banging off doors and stuff, and it was fun getting to race with him. Last year he helped me out a little bit. We went and did a test, and he was my veteran guy, and so I have a lot of respect for Justin. So it was just cool to be I thought me and you were battling at the end, so yeah. That was a lot of fun for me. So it was just a fun day, and DC Solar was here, so it was cool to be able to run up front all weekend, and our car was just good. It was fun. It was crazy, but glad that they were able to get it right, and Elliott's the winner, so it is what it is. It's racing.
Excellent. Additional questions? We'll go to Stan right here. Then we'll go here.
Hi, Stan Creekmore with RPMTonight.com. Justin, what was your heart telling you as you waited to hear from NASCAR?
Well, I didn't want to get out because I felt like that was giving up, right? I just sat in the car there. And I think, the way that you looked, I knew that it was going to come down to, after they told me that they were waiting to see where the caution came out, I knew it was going to come down to where we were at, and I thought it was going to be even at that point between us, and I didn't realize that the one had stayed where he was at. So, as Brendan said, at the end of the day, the tape is the tape, and I just watched the replay of it again, and it's like you could battle it out between he and I. We were inches apart, but obviously Elliott was still ahead, and so it's tough to lose one when it's that close, but at the same time, it's nice to know that we had a shot at it, and we were up there battling, and the guy that wins the race is the guy that is in victory lane, and that's, they got it right. And so for us, it was a good points day, and that's all you can ask for when you leave Talladega. If the car rolls into the trailer and you can go back to the shop and your health is good and all that, you're in good shape. So I think for all of us, it's just glad that we had a good strong finish and a good points day.
We'll go here, then we'll go to Chris Knight.
Pat DeCola, NASCAR.com for Brennan. You're handling this very well. I think everybody knows that. Is it a little easier to swallow knowing that you guys are making steady gains and you're getting closer to that win?
I mean, anytime you come up a little bit short, it kind of sucks. But you know, like I said, it is what it is. But yeah, I mean, you know, we've been fast. You know, several weeks this year. We just haven't been able to close a whole race out. You know, and that's been tough. You know, we've been able to run in the top 10 pretty much every race this year, other than Bristol, where I felt like we missed it a little bit. So I feel like I've gotten a lot better as a driver. It certainly helped me being able to race every single week this year, as opposed to last year, only running half the schedule. So yeah, I just feel like as I'm able to run more in the top 10 and battle up with those guys in the top 5, you know, the better I'm becoming, which just helps me be able to tell my guys more about what my race car is doing to make them better and ultimately start putting ourselves in a position to be able to win races. So it's been an exciting last couple weeks, and certainly this afternoon is probably one of the most exciting times in my racing career. Would have been a little bit better if I was a couple spots better, but you know, it was just a really fun day, and I'm just grateful to be able to do what I get to do every day, to know I'm going to be in a race car the next week. So I'm just very thankful for a good day. I think I was rookie of the race again. That's 2 weeks in a row, so I'm pumped about that, and it's a good point today. Like Justin said, we all are just trying to finish and get out of here and go to the next one. So all in all, I'm really happy.
We're going to go over here to Reed, and then we'll go to Chris.
Reed Spencer with NASCAR Wire Service. Brennan, what was going through your mind when you were waiting for the decision there? And you seem remarkably upbeat under the circumstances. Is that because you had a competitive car and had a shot to win the race?
I mean, I think I'm upbeat just because I had so much fun today racing with everybody. It was just a blast. But you know, I was just as I was waiting there, I was thinking, man, hopefully the caution didn't come out as early as I think it came out, and you know, I'm hoping we raced to the line, but. You know, at the same time, too, I'm just thinking, well, hopefully NASCAR gets it right. I want the guy who deserves to win the race be the winner and go by the rules. And according to the rules, Elliott was the winner. So it just I mean, I have no, you know, can't get mad about it or anything. It just is what it is. So I'm happy I got third out of the day at Talladega. You know, last year I didn't even get to finish the race. So I'm just thankful, grateful, and happy to come home third. Still wish I got a couple more spots out of it, but. You know, it's just racing. It's how it goes sometimes.
We'll go to Chris.
ChrisKnight, Brennan, when you walk out of the track tonight and get back to North Carolina and do what you do and you have time to be by yourself, will you think, man, this one kind of got away, or are you just going to pick up the pieces and move on?
Yeah, I don't know if it really got away because I don't know if I quite had it. You know, it's like I was close all day, but I never really was in the lead, but for a brief moment. So I don't know if I'll really think that it got away. I think I'll just be excited for the next time I get to come back to Talladega and race again. I know we got a good piece and be able to try to get up there and battle with those guys. You know, we came from the back to the front to multiple times today. Our car was just really awesome, and we were a great pusher. So to be up there and have a shot at the win was awesome. But you know, focus turns to Dover now for me. Got some heat races and try to get some Dash for Cash money and try to go win a race and get in the chase.
We're going to go over here to Kelly, and then we'll go back across to this side.
Kelly Crandall from PopularSpeed.com. Justin, last week when he won Richmond, Dale Earnhardt Jr. said that he's been surprised at how fast you've been, how you've been fitting in with this team since coming over here. Aside from being competitive, how much fun are you having being back in this series and running for Dale Jr.?
Well, I think it's no question the Xfinity Series is a blast. I mean, Brennan's talked about it. I mean, we've all talked about how much fun it was today. In every race this season, you can look back and say, okay, all of these races have been a blast. They've been a lot of fun. And obviously, if you run well and you're competitive and you're running up front, it makes it easier to think that and to feel like it's fun. But, you know, I think for me, the Junior Motorsports team, just being a part of that organization and seeing how they work internally and getting to know the guys. I mean, I have an awesome team on our 7 team. I mean, just getting to know those guys and their personalities and everybody throughout the shop and all the other teams. I mean, between the 3 and sometimes 4 teams that we have at the racetrack, we all get along really well, and I think that makes it easier to go out to the racetrack every week, be more competitive because you're feeding off of each other, and you know, Elliott's been a great teammate, and so to see him in victory lane and super happy, you know, it's only going to help grow everybody's emotions in the shop and to keep us pushing forward. So, you know, it's been fun. Dale's great. I mean, you know, to get to know Dale and the little bit that I knew him before I drove for him, but now really to see him as I'm driving for him, to get to know him. You know, the guy wants to win races. He wants to be up front. He won last week. Elliott won this week. I mean, now hopefully we can go do it again in a few weeks and kind of cap off the trifecta. But definitely have made huge gains throughout the course of the season with the team, and just glad to be a part of such a great organization.
We're going to go here to the right and then to the middle.
Aaron Bearden, FrontStretch.com. Brennan, congratulations on your run. A couple years ago, you were scraping together rides in the ARCA Racing Series, just doing what you can. Now you've made it all the way to Talladega, scoring your first top 5, and it looks like you're on track to make the chase at this stage on points, even if you don't get a win. How special is this for you, and how far do you feel like you've come in the last couple years?
I mean, it's pretty cool. I'm just, I'm really grateful for all the people that were able to, keep me alive in the sport at a time where I didn't know if I was going to race again for a while. And after 2012, I didn't have a ride, and I think I raced 4 races in 2013, and was able to win a couple races, kept me going the next year, and actually John Townley's family helped me a bunch, and I got to fill in with him for him a few times in the ARCA Series, and actually got my last win in the ARCA Series, which was in Kentucky for Zaxby's and everybody, and that was really the moment that kind of got me that little bit of extra, and I got a call a couple months later to see if I wanted to be a part of the Ganassi racing team, and with Harry Scott and the stuff that they were doing together over there. So, it was just, at times, like last year, I was just in shock kind of the whole time. So this year, I feel like I've been able to be a little bit more focused. I feel like I've got the belief of my guys in me, and I trust them and believe in them as well. And so this year, we've kind of been able to come out of the gates really strong. And, for me, that confidence boost is really what's helped me run better. But, I'm just so grateful. God's done a lot of awesome things for me. At times where I didn't know if my dream was going to come true. To see how everything came together is just no question for me that I'm at where I'm at because of the doors that He's opened for me. So I'm just really grateful. Every day I get in a race car, I know it's because of what He's done for me. So I'm just glad to be here and grateful every week to know that I'm going to be racing. So it's fun for me, and I'm trying to have as much fun with it as I can. And ultimately, I want to win races, and I want to compete for a championship, and I want to race in Sprint Cup. And it's been my dream since I was 5 years old. So just grateful I have the opportunity to make that dream come true.
We'll go right here in the middle to Stan.
Yeah, Brennan, Stan Creekmore again with RPMtonight.com. Talladega's different from every other place, but yet, what do you believe is the greatest thing you learned today that will help you throughout the rest of the season?
I think the biggest thing today is I learned, I gained some respect from guys I was racing around. Just getting to race with some of the Cup guys and some of the guys I have to race every week, like Justin and Elliott. So I think gaining that respect of the guys you race around helps a lot in certain situations. I've taken away some things that I'm going to use when I go to Daytona. I feel like every time I've been able to come to a restrictor plate track, I've learned stuff and gotten better at it. And this was my third one, and it was close. So I'll just keep learning and keep trying to put myself in a good position and try to win a race.
Any additional questions for Justin Allgaier or Brennan Poole? Gentlemen, congratulations. Thanks. You. Yeah.
All right, we are now joined by our race-winning crew chief, car owner. Dale, I don't think you knew you were a crew chief today, too. Yeah. Our race-winning car owner, Dale Earnhardt Jr. Dale, just talk about seeing Elliott Sadler in victory lane today in the final laps of today's race.
Yeah, that was a wild race. I was happy about the, how good the race was. Had a debris caution there with about 10 laps to go that I don't think anybody wanted, but because it was so good. Those guys are really mixing it up out there, a lot of pushing and stuff at the end, but you kind of see that at all the plate races. Elliott has had a bit of a drought and has struggled to see the results that he's thinks he's capable of seeing. And when we got together over the offseason, this is exactly what we envisioned for us to be able to do. So I was excited for him to get the win, and I know he's worked real hard to get this opportunity, and we're trying to do the best we can to give him the best stuff. So we, we've been working really hard as a company to get better, to catch some of these other teams that have been winning all these races. So for Junior Motorsports to win 2 races in a row is pretty awesome for us as a company. And the phone is buzzing like crazy in my pocket, and I know it's family and my mom and all the people that work there that are so excited about the success we're having. The OneMain folks were here today at the racetrack. A lot of those folks are new with the company as it's been bought out over the past several months, and some of them are seeing this sport for the first time. Some of them are meeting Elliott and myself and our team for the first time. So for us to get a victory today was crazy for our team, and we just had the announcement over the last couple of weeks with Hellman's renewing, so it's awesome to be able to showcase our team and be able to get to victory lane with the sponsor present. I spent a lot of time with those folks today. This is Kevin Meendering, his first victory, and he was my lead engineer for several years, and he sort of helped rejuvenate my career on the Cup side, and we believe in his ability to become a great crew chief in this sport for a long time. So it's awesome to share this moment with him and see him gain more and more confidence in himself and what he can do with a group of guys. So it's a big day for us today, and we're real excited. We're gonna keep working. I don't know where we are as far as how we have gained on the Gibbs stuff and the Penske stuff, but we are certainly using all our resources, and we're grinding away. Every individual in that shop is working as hard as they can, trying to close that gap.
All right, we are now also joined by our race-winning crew chief, Kevin Meendering. Kevin, talk about the view from the pit box today in those final laps.
Well, first of all, Elliott drove a great race all day today. We kind of got shuffled there towards the last 25, 30 laps, and he charged back to the front. We knew sitting third on that last restart was a good position for us, especially having a teammate behind us. And then at that point, from the pit box, there's not much you can do. It's kind of in the driver's hands, and Elliott did a great job.
All right, we'll go ahead and open it up to questions. We'll start up front with Tom Jensen, and then we'll go to Jordan Bianchi.
Congratulations, guys. Dale, what does this mean to you as a car owner that you got another car in the chase?
Yeah, I'm not sure what to think about it as a car owner. As a driver, it's certainly a relief to get locked in. I think Elliott's with a team that he has confidence would make it into the chase regardless of wins, and I have that kind of confidence in our teams. So the wins aren't quite as critical, but as a driver, you have a lot of relief because you don't have to worry about that part of it anymore. The crew chief doesn't have to worry about that particular part of it anymore. You don't have to worry about points at all. You never even have to. We have a long text message in our team that Mike Davis is a part of, and he sends, as soon as the race is over, he sends us the points. And if you don't have a win, you look at that text message, and if it's a few minutes late, you're texting Mike, "Where's the points?" Once you get that win, you don't even care anymore. You never even look at it. You're locked in. You just start having fun, go to the racetrack, race, try new things on your setup, do whatever you want. The pressure's off. It really relieves a lot of pressure for the team. As an owner, I expected this. I thought that this is what Elliott and I knew Kevin's talent. I thought that they were going to have an amazing year. The chase being new for the Xfinity Series allows us to stub our toe a little bit, and allows them to gel and learn each other and get better, and still regroup and re-rack at the end of the season as a better team than they were when they first started together. Because when they first started together, everybody was strangers. Nobody knew everybody. He hadn't been a crew chief before. He hadn't worked on Xfinity cars much at all. They had to gel. So all that stuff, they get to learn all this and work together and get as good as they can for when that chase comes. So as an owner, I'm just watching them grow, watching them improve, and hoping that when we get to that chase that they're prepared and ready to go.
All right, we'll go to Jordan.
Jordan Bianchi, SBNation.com. Dale, what were your thoughts as you were watching or waiting for the review to come down? Who won the race? Did you think Sadler had won it, or were you convinced that the other guy won?
I didn't know because I don't have the information that NASCAR has where they are. And it was interesting today during the Michael asked me to do the broadcast on this race, but I'd never even been to the booth or even seen how that works. So I told him I wanted to take a tour. So Jeff Gordon took me on a tour all day long of the broadcast booth, and then over to the TV compound and where the producer and director are, and then into the in-car camera trailer, and then we went over to the NASCAR Pro trailer where they have all that stuff for the pit stops, and I'm seeing all this stuff for the first time. So I don't know what NASCAR is seeing that we aren't seeing watching it from the TV and the bus or wherever you're at. So when they say they're reviewing the finish, especially after last year, how that all worked out for us in the Cup race, you just shelve your emotions and wait for the result. That's all you can do. And they saw what they wanted. They saw what they wanted to see to declare Elliott the winner. And I feel a lot of sadness for Poole because he went through these emotions as if he had won this race, and all that was yanked out from under him. So that sucks. But apparently NASCAR saw enough to award Elliott the win, and it's in the books, and that's how it is. I learned that lesson last year. So we go to Victory Lane and we celebrate.
All right, we'll go to Chris Knight and then to Kenny Bruce.
Chris Knight, catchfence.com. Dale, started the year with a win at Daytona for JRM, and now it's 2 weeks in a row, so you're 2 for 2 on the plate tracks and 2 for 2 as far as back-to-back wins. Do you feel like that JRM is...
Oh, that's good. That's awesome. Who is that? Is that your wife? I had to. I'm sorry. That's too easy. So, go ahead.
You're happy with the progress the JRM team is making, especially with Justin Allgaier getting a second place here today too.
Yeah, I was glad to see Justin do as well as he did because I watched him in the Daytona race, and I just didn't know, he just didn't have confidence in the car or something. He drove such an awkward race at Daytona, and he's been amazing throughout the rest of the year, shown a lot of great speed, impressed me really with what speed he's had in our cars at all the tracks. They've been our best car. The 7 was our best car last year, so I know Jason and them guys are doing a great job. But at Daytona, he just never really had this, he wasn't confident in the car and the moves, and he wasn't confident enough to make the moves and push his car into these tight little situations because he was feeling something that I didn't know what he was feeling, but he was feeling something that was making him really hesitant. So I was glad to see him today push himself into some tough situations. Apparently the car just wasn't comfortable at Daytona, but he seemed much more comfortable today. He's been great every week. It's funny. I joke a little bit with Jason that he's the old school racer, and he outruns the engineers a lot. So that puts a lot of pressure on guys, on Kevin and the guys to work hard. Because it's an engineer-driven sport. It really is. Those are the guys that make the speed, but Kevin's an old-school mechanic, so it's pretty interesting to see what he gets out of his team, and they're very impressive each week.
Are you happy with the team's mile-and-a-half program right now, or you guys feel like you still have work to do there?
I think we got work to do. People are asking after Richmond and Talladega whether we've caught the JGR guys, and we haven't. We'll go to a mile-and-a-half and find out. We'll go to Dover and places like that and find out. I just don't know. I don't know that we need more track time. We need to take more things that we're learning to the racetrack, and just not enough time has passed since Texas for us to say that we've made any gains yet. We need more. We need to go to the track and see.
Additional questions for Dale and Kevin. All right, we'll start with Kenny.
Kenny Bruce with NASCAR.com. Dale, obviously big wrecks like this can happen anywhere, and they happen here. You've been involved in them. Do you ever question what you guys are doing, or if there's something that you could do better, or to make it not that dangerous, or are you just at peace with it and know that's part of the risk when you go out there?
I think you never you get used to it, I guess. The racing, the cars are a lot closer together. In the 80s and even in the 90s, in the draft there was a bit more distance from one car to the other. And there weren't as many cars in the lead draft. You could have guys at 4, 5, 6, 10 cars that would break away and drive off, and stay gone for entire fuel run. We're all right on each other's bumpers, but this didn't happen overnight. I think if it happened overnight, it'd freak us out if we went from one way to the other. But it's happened in a slow transition, and I think you just get used to it. It's scary. It's very scary. But if you want to win, you gotta be gutsy and trust that you're not going to get hurt and nothing bad's going to happen. You just go out there and run as hard as you can. If you got even the least bit of doubt or worry, you're not going to be confident and not going to make the moves you got to make. And a lot of times when you're too careful, you actually get into more trouble just being cautious. So you just go out there and trust your instincts. I think that's when I feel actually more comfortable is just trusting my instincts, doing what I think I need to do when I need to do it, and everything's supposed to work out. And that's the attitude you have.
All right, Kevin and Dale, thank you for joining us today, and congratulations.
Okay.
All right. We are now joined by our race winner, Elliott Sadler, driver of the #1 OneMain Chevrolet for Junior Motorsports. Elliott, first off, happy birthday.
Thank you.
And secondly, congratulations on your race win today. Talk about getting back into victory lane with Junior Motorsports.
Yeah, it's holy cow, so many emotions and stories and things going through my head right now. So many different reasons why we wanted to win the race today, but these are the biggest two right here beside me, and this is why I wanted to bring them. It's, they don't get to come to a lot of races, and they definitely hadn't been to victory lane yet with Daddy. Wyatt was with me at Pocono when I won in the truck a long time ago, but he was only a couple months old. So to see my kids in victory lane with me and my wife was very special, very emotional, and something I'll never forget.
All right. We'll go ahead and open it up to questions. We'll start with Bob, and then we'll go to Tom.
Bob Pockris, ESPN. Can you talk about what you saw on that final lap, and then what were you thinking for about the 5 minutes that took for NASCAR to decide where you finished?
Well, I tell you, Bob, I was very fortunate that I had Justin Allgaier behind me. He restarted fifth on the restart, and I knew he would stay with me till we got to the trial, and then we could make whatever moves we need to make to try to win the race. So I felt like I could be aggressive and kind of make a strong move with Joey, and I kind of played the move in my head that I want to happen. If I was pinned in traffic, or one if I was free, I was going to try to get to Joey's bumper and try to push him out away from everybody, then leave it between he and I. And I was able to make a move to the top, and he made a great block, and then I came back to the bottom under him. And I'm going to be honest with you, it's a lot of races I probably have not done a good job as a driver, but I feel like saving that car today through the grass was kind of crazy. And yeah, it was a little bit of luck, but I was wheeling it inside of it too. So it felt good to, after Joey and I hit, to kind of keep the car straight. And when he yelled caution was out, I felt like I was still in the lead. So that's why we drove up to the start-finish line. I'm glad NASCAR took their time and looked at it. And was kind of just anxious sitting there on the start-finish line. Just, man, I would really like to win this race. And, I know the 48 car would too, but, he's going to be around a long time. And, we felt like we needed it. So, it was a great birthday gift when they started screaming in my ear. I kind of knew what was going to happen.
All right, we'll go to Tom and then Kenny Bruce.
Hey, Elliott, Tom Jensen, FoxSports.com. Congratulations.
Thank you.
What does it mean to you to be locked into the chase now?
Man, it means a lot to be locked into chase, and I'll go ahead and tell you. I don't know if Kevin said it or not. So I called Kevin last week, and we were going over our Richmond stuff, and we were talking about Talladega. And I said, man, how you doing today? And he said, we're just fine-tuning the Talladega cars. I said, don't put too much effort into it. It's either we're coming home with the trophy or just a steering wheel. I don't, with this new points format, we're way up in the points. We had a big cushion to 12th. I feel like Talladega's a race that, I'll be honest with you, last 3 or 4 days, I feel like I had to win. I feel like I had to win this race with all the stuff we got going on. And so I told him, I was like, we're either going to win it or we're going to tear it all to pieces. I hope you don't mind. And he said he didn't care. He'd build me another one. So I think we did a little bit of both, honestly, today. So to be locked into chase, it's going to open us up where we can be aggressive, we can take some chances, and we can try some things. There's some tracks that we need a little bit of speed on. We know to keep up with some of the other cars, and we know we got a lot of intermediate tracks coming up when the chase starts, and we have Phoenix coming up. So we'll try some stuff at some different tracks to get ready for those last few races for the chase. So it definitely frees you up, makes it very comfortable.
All right, we'll go to we'll go to Chris Knight. Any additional questions for Elliott? We'll go to Stan.
Okay, Stan Creekmore with RPMTonight.com. Number one, Elliott, one of the reporters from Hampton sent me a message, said, are you going to do a party at the Red Barn?
Not yet. I know what he meant, a party at my barn. A couple years ago, we had a party at my house, and 4,000 or 5,000 people showed up. So that's what he's asking for, but not yet.
Okay, listen, I've watched you since you were a late model stock driver. What does this win mean to you over all of the wins you've had throughout your career?
Well, it's very high, and I'll hit the high spots right now. You know, I hadn't won a race, and you guys said 65 races. I hadn't won a race, so almost 2 years. OneMain has been is the longest running primary sponsor in the Xfinity Series. A lot of the people, we had 50 people here today from OneMain. A lot of them had never been to a race before, so they were here today. Dale Jr. and Kelly gave me a great opportunity, maybe take a chance on me. I don't know, however you want to word it, it sounds great. Gave me a great opportunity to drive their race car and to be able to win a race for them means a lot to me. My wife and 2 kids are here with me. First time I've been able to share all of us in victory lane together. So, and it's my birthday, so it's the last day of Autism Awareness Month. I mean, I can go on and on of how special a win this is to me. My daughter found a ladybug today, and she's keeping with her, as you can see. That also brought me some good luck. So it's little cool stuff like that is what makes this race worthwhile and makes it very special.
Final questions for Elliott? All right, Elliott, congratulations on your win today.
Thank you guys so much. Thank you. You all right? Okay.
All right, we are now joined by our race winner, Elliott Sadler, driver of the #1 OneMain Chevrolet for Junior Motorsports. Elliott, first off, happy birthday.
Thank you.
And secondly, congratulations on your race win today. Talk about getting back into victory lane with Junior Motorsports.
Yeah, it's holy cow, so many emotions and stories and things going through my head right now. So many different reasons why we wanted to win the race today, but these are the biggest 2 right here beside me, and this is why I wanted to bring them. It's they don't get to come to a lot of races, and they definitely hadn't been to victory lane yet with Daddy. Wyatt was with me at Pocono when I won in the truck a long time ago, but he was only a couple months old. So to see my kids in victory lane with me and my wife was very special, very emotional, and something I'll never forget.
All right, we'll go ahead and open it up to questions. We'll start with Bob, and then we'll go to Tom.
Bob Pockris, ESPN. Can you talk about what you saw on that final lap, and then what were you thinking for about the 5 minutes that took for NASCAR to decide where you finished?
Well, I tell you, Bob, I was very fortunate that I had Justin Allgaier behind me. He restarted 5th on the restart, and I knew he would stay with me till we got to the trial, and then we could make whatever moves we need to make to try to win the race. So I felt like I could be aggressive and kind of make a strong move with Joey, and I kind of played the move in my head that I want to happen. If I was pinned in traffic, or if I was free, I was going to try to get to Joey's bumper and try to push him out away from everybody, then leave it between he and I. And I was able to make a move to the top, and he made a great block, and then I came back to the bottom under him. And I'm going to be honest with you, it's a lot of races I probably have not done a good job as a driver, but I feel like saving that car today through the grass was kind of crazy. And yeah, it was a little bit of luck, but I was wheeling it inside of it too, so it felt good to after Joey and I hit to kind of keep the car straight, and when he yelled caution was out, I felt like I was still in the lead. So that's why we drove up to the start-finish line. I'm glad NASCAR took their time and looked at it, and was kind of just anxious sitting there on the start-finish line. Just, man, I would really like to win this race, and I know the 48 car would too, but he's going to be around a long time, and we felt like we needed it. So it was a great birthday gift when they started screaming in my ear. I kind of knew what was going to happen.
All right, we'll go to Tom and then Kenny Bruce.
Hey, Elliott, Tom Jensen, FoxSports.com. Congratulations.
Thank you.
What does it mean to you to be locked into the chase now?
Man, it means a lot to be locked into chase, and I'll go ahead and tell you. I don't know if Kevin said it or not. So I called Kevin last week, and we were going over our Richmond stuff, and we're talking about Talladega. And I said, man, how you doing today? And he said, we're just fine-tuning the Talladega cars. I said, don't put too much effort into it. It's either we're coming home with the trophy or just a steering wheel. I don't, with this new points format, we're way up in the points. We had a big cushion to 12th. I feel like Talladega's a race that, I'll be honest with you, last 3 or 4 days, I feel like I had to win. I feel like I had to win this race with all the stuff we got going on. And so I told him, I was like, we were going to win it or we're going to tear it all to pieces. I hope you don't mind. And he said he didn't care. He'd build me another one. So I think we did a little bit of both, honestly, today. So to be locked into chase, it's going to open us up where we can be aggressive, we can take some chances, and we can try some things. There's some tracks that we need a little bit of speed on. We know to keep up with some of the other cars, and we know we got a lot of intermediate tracks coming up when the chase starts, and we have Phoenix coming up. So we'll try some stuff at some different tracks to get ready for those last few races for the chase. So it definitely frees you up, makes it very comfortable.
All right, we'll go to Chris Knight. Any additional questions for Elliott? We'll go to Stan.
Okay, Stan Creekmore with RPMTonight.com. Number one, Elliott, one of the reporters from Hampton sent me a message, said, are you going to do a party at the Red Barn?
Not yet. I know what he meant, a party at my barn. A couple years ago, we had a party at my house, and 4,000 or 5,000 people showed up. So that's what he's asking for, but not yet.
Okay, listen. I've watched you since you were a late model stock driver. What does this win mean to you over all of the wins you've had throughout your career?
Well, it's very high, and I'll hit the high spots right now. I hadn't won a race, and you guys said 65 races. I hadn't won a race, so almost 2 years. OneMain has been is the longest running primary sponsor in the Xfinity Series. A lot of the people, we had 50 people here today from OneMain. A lot of them had never been to a race before, so they were here today. Dale Jr. and Kelly gave me a great opportunity, maybe take a chance on me. I don't know, however you want to word it, it sounds great. Gave me a great opportunity to drive their race car and to be able to win a race for them means a lot to me. My wife and 2 kids are here with me. First time I've been able to share all of us in victory lane together. So, and it's my birthday, so it's the last day of Autism Awareness Month. I mean, I can go on and on of how special a win this is to me. My daughter found a ladybug today, and she's keeping with her, as you can see. That also brought me some good luck. So it's little cool stuff like that is what makes this race worthwhile and makes it very special.
Final questions for Elliott? All right, Elliott, congratulations on your win today.
Thank you guys so much. Thank you.
We'll finish up our post-race media availabilities this afternoon. We're joined now by Mr. Wayne Auton, the Managing Director of the NASCAR XFINITY Series. Wayne, that was a tremendous race. Can you talk us through a little bit about how the process to arrive at the result today?
I don't know about anybody else in here, but I'm flat ass wore out. I'll just tell you. Just being honest with you. Daytona and Talladega puts on such great races. We've seen some of the greatest races ever at those two races, especially here at Talladega Super Speedway. So at the end of the race there, we knew that everybody's going to be jockeying for position, trying to get that win, to get into the Xfinity chase with the Xfinity drivers. And we use every resource that we can. And our main goal is to make sure that we got it right. And Took us a little time up in the tower, and we feel 100% that we got it exactly right. We used film. We used eyes, which mine are about wore out of watching these cars today. These guys done one exceptional job here today with a great race. But so we took our time in the tower. I think all of you saw the 1 and the 48 come and set at the start-finish line, which was pretty cool. The both drivers just sat there really calm and knew that we were checking it. And we used every bit of film that we had, slow down, speed up, slow down, speed up. And we arrived at the finish that we did, and that's by using every piece of technology that we had to our availability.
Excellent. Take a couple questions for Wayne. If you have a question, you can raise your hand, please. We'll go to Dustin, then Bob.
Dustin Long, NBC Sports. A couple things, Wayne, is you didn't mention the scoring loops. I know you said everything, but I'm assuming that was used and how that factored in, or could that be factored in because everything happened beyond the last loop and you relied on more video? So I guess the question is, one was, did you use video even with everything relied more on that? And secondly, also, this was the first week with the lug nut issue, and just what you guys saw or how you evaluated that throughout the race and then at the end of the race, please.
Okay. We used video today, every means that we could, from inside the racetrack, outside the racetrack, aerial. As soon as the caution out, position the cars at the position they were at the time that the caution was displayed. And, so proud of this garage. It's really cool to see the talent, not only the drivers, the crew members, and they all done a great job today. We had no issues with the lug nuts today. Everybody had them glued up as they were asked to do prior to the race, kept them glued up all day, and when all the cars come in, there was 5 on every wheel. So, you can look at that and say that I believe everybody got the word that we were on top of it. The teams did a fantastic job, and so proud of the job that they do in our garage area. This is the series that makes names, and we definitely saw some new names up there at the front today. 51 car, Jeremy Clement, a very, very low budget team finishing top 5. So that shows you that NASCAR racing, you can still be a little guy and still finish up real good.
Okay, we'll go to Bob and then back to Kenny.
Bob Parker, ESPN. Just a couple. So you used video. Your main issue was just where everybody was when the caution came out.
That's correct. I'm sorry, that's correct. Yeah.
And obviously, from what I saw and everything, Sadler went below the yellow line, but considering he had contact, then that's allowed, correct?
Well, the rule is that you cannot go below the double yellow line to advance his position. He did not advance a position. And he was also forced down there when the 22 car got into, or him and the 22 car made contact. So in our eyes, he did not gain any positions. He was already there, and so it was legal by the rules.
We'll go to Kenny.
Kenny Bruce, NASCAR.com. This may sound simple, but
nothing's never simple from you, Kenny.
Can you just explain the process of why officials threw the caution when they threw it instead of letting the race play out, since it was on the front stretch coming to the checkered flag?
Yeah, that's real easy to answer, Kenny. Our number one job in this sport is safety of these drivers, safety of crew members, safety of fans. When you see a car turn hard right, and in the years that I've been in this business, it's pretty scary. And with all the safety features that we've applied, the safer walls that are all the way around all of our racetracks now on the exterior, and the safety features that we have inside the car, our number one concern is when the 22 car hit, to make sure that Joey was okay. So automatically we went ahead and put out the caution. We felt like that it was the right time. As you saw, another car came in and made contact with the 22 when he come off the wall. So at our time, we need to start getting the guys to roll out of throttle for all the safety of all the other drivers, even that finished the race on all the way to the line. So absolutely. Congratulations, Elliott. You're in the chase, bud.
Thank you. Thanks for the birthday wish today.
How old are you?
21.
21. Names are made here, right, buddy?
All right, we're going to finish up with Stan, please.
Really simple question.
Stan, they're never simple coming from you, just like Kenny, I know.
You said we looked through everything. I'm not asking for names. How many make up we?
There was 8 of us today up in the tower watching the whole race. You know, we were challenged. Actually, I'm wore out. I'm not lying. I'm flat-ass wore out. I'm ready to go relax a little bit. and then we'll do this again in Daytona. So it's a hard race to do, but our guys and drivers done one heck of a job today. And I think that's the key of it is we show that this series is as good as it is because of the talent that we have sitting inside those cars. Names are made here. That's what it's all about. Xfinity has done nothing but a tremendous job since coming into the sport, being our series sponsor. But, you know, everything should be on the accolades should be those drivers that are out there in those cars because they've done one well of a job today of controlling their tempers, controlling their emotions. The pit crew's done a great job. As we said, everybody had all the proper pieces on the car when the race is over. So I think the whole garage, but there's a lot of people in the tower, but today it was about 8 of us up there watching the whole race.
Wayne, thank you very much.
Absolutely. Thank you all.